Hi, I'm Liz.
And I'm Chris.
And we're
Adulting in Theme Park Land.
Today we're here at Walt's experimental prototype Community of Tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
To give you actually a viewer-requested video, which is just a general overview of Epcot and what there is to do here in 2025. There are some things that obviously will be opening later up in the year, but for now it's just a good general overview of like what to come and expect just on a normal day here at Epcot. We are filming during the Festival of the Arts, so you will see some of that going on, but we're going to focus on like the normal things that are here, you know, just all the time to give you a great idea of what to expect on your Epcot day if it's your first time here.
All right, so why don't you guys come and join us and see what Epcot's all about.
A great way to orientate yourself if you're new to this park, or any park really, is to pick up a guide map and take a minute looking it over. So Epcot, or the Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow, was originally envisioned by Walt Disney to be a living city. But that then evolved to become kind of a permanent World's Fair here in Orlando. And so that's why things are really always changing here. That's why they do all these festivals here. It's kind of a park that's always changing, or there's always something new, which is why we love coming here. And so with that World's Fair idea, it is broken up kind of into an area with pavilions showcasing science. It used to have more like up-and-coming science, but now it's kind of changed into more ride focus, but still like a sciencey area. And then an area where home to different countries, where the countries can kind of show off things about them and what makes them all special. Epcot used to be divided into really two major sections. There was an area called Future World and an area called the World Showcase. Now, this area is still, of course, called the World Showcase, but Future World has undergone quite a transformation over the last few years here at Epcot. Now it's divided into three areas called World Discovery, World Nature, and World Celebration. As you enter Epcot, you walk straight into the area called World Celebration. This is where Spaceship Earth is located. And then you come into this big kind of park area. That's the World Celebration. This is where you're going to find the Connections Eatery, your Starbucks, your main gift shop. And then this area right here is just a big park. There's a lot of places to just kind of sit and chill and relax. Maybe charge up your phone. There's charging stations all over. So it's a good kind of chill place, but it's home to this new area called Communicore Hall and Plaza. So this area is going to change between the festivals. Usually there's stuff going on inside the Communicore Hall and then also around it, depending on the festival. Otherwise, it's just a good place to kind of just chill and get some air conditioning. So that's kind of the main draw of World Celebration. To the left of World Celebration here is World Discovery. This is home to a couple of pavilions, home to Guardians of the Galaxy, again, the best roller coaster here at Walt Disney World, in my humble opinion. It's kind of difficult to get into. You need a lightning lane or a virtual queue to get in, so you can't just line up, but that's something to keep in mind. This big gold section here, this used to be a pavilion called Horizons. It's currently closed. It was going to be a different thing, but it's just closed. I'm actually kind of surprised it's still on the map because it's just not anything. This is Mission Space. This is home to the ride called Mission Space, a restaurant called Space 220, and a kids' playground area. And then Test Track, which is also closed right now for renovations. But this is like a high-speed experience about cars and like GM vehicles, sponsored by GM. And then if we move over here to World Nature, this is where a lot of like the original pavilions are to the park. This park opened in October of 1982, and so you can tell there's a lot of influences still from that time frame. And so it's home to the Living Seas, which used to be one of the largest aquariums in the entire world. There's also a slow-moving Omnimover style ride called the Finding Nemo ride. Living Seas with Nemo and Friends, it's the official name. There's a really fun interactive experience called Turtle Talk with Crush. And again, just a great aquarium. Outside of that is a new area called Moana's Journey of Water. This is a great interactive and educational play area for kids, but they will get wet. So it's just something to kind of keep in mind. Keeping on moving, we have the Land Pavilion right here. This is going to be home to the ride Soarin', which is every person's mother's favorite ride, and the only ride I find that everyone claps at the end of, no matter what. It's kind of like a high-flying paragliding type adventure. And Living with the Land, which is a slow-moving boat ride that takes you through greenhouses here and innovative ways to grow fruits and vegetables. It's also home to a kind of 3D or like 4D movie experience called Awesome Planet about, well, they call it the exploration of the dynamic story of Earth. It's a good thing to do if it's raining or if it's cold or if you've done everything else. Definitely not a must-do. And then lastly, we have the Imagination Pavilion, which is one of my favorites. It's home to the Epcot original character of Figment, who is a cute purple dragon and a figment of your imagination. So there's a slow Omnimover style ride in there about him, and then a good play area for kids. There's also a video area showcasing currently Pixar movies, and a meet and greet. Mickey Mouse meet and greet is inside there. If you happen to be a Chase Visa Disney card holder, the Imagination Pavilion is also where you can get your special character meet and greet experience. That's open only for members of those cards, and it changes all the time, so you never really know what it's going to be. So that is what used to be known as Future World and is now World Celebration, World Discovery, and World Nature. I would say this is the more science-y side of Epcot. And then you move straight and you get into the World Showcase. Now this has not changed much since opening. Now this is home to 11 different pavilions representing 11 different countries, and then there is like an African outpost as well. And each area will have either a ride or like a movie experience or something like that that kind of showcases what's special about the particular country. There are also character meet and greets throughout this area, and each country has amazing, unique food and beverage items that you can try that are unique to that region. And then of course during the festivals they add different additional booths with additional food and beverages depending on the season. Sometimes there's holiday storytellers from different countries around the world. There's art from around the world. It's really a unique area, and as a kid it really inspired me to want to then travel the world, and I have now been to every country in the World Showcase in real life, which I think is a pretty cool thing that Epcot inspired me to then go do. And then at night, the evening celebration fireworks are always here in the World Showcase Lagoon. Right now it happens to be luminous. That will be the case for 2025, but in the past they've had other shows in this area, but it's a perfect location because really you can be anywhere in this lagoon and experience the show, so you don't get the crowding that you get in front of, say, Cinderella Castle in the Magic Kingdom. So that is Epcot kind of in a nutshell, and let's go explore it. We arrived and went to the left of Spaceship Earth to our first pavilion. We are headed over to World Discovery to start our day. This is the area that's focused more on like transportation and science, and it's also home to the best roller coaster on Disney property called Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. The pavilion is set up as like to educate you about the planet where they're all from, Xandar. So it fits well into the theming of Epcot, I think, but it's a fun way to start the day. It is a high-speed kind of twisting roller coaster with a lot of
You could actually ride it in
drifting motion, so some people do get a little nauseous from it, but we're going to start that over here in the World Discovery section. Yay, so that was Guardians of the Galaxy. Awesome ride, really fun roller coaster. If you get motion sick on rides, especially when like drifting, you might want to consider some Dramamine or some sort of anti-nausea protection.
This one can do it.
Because this one can do it. It just depends on how sensitive you are. But it is one of the most popular rides here at Epcot. And yeah, it's pretty great. But then continuing here in World Discovery, if you keep walking past Guardians, the next pavilion that you come across, it contains a ride called Mission Space. And this ride simulates really what it's like to go to space. So there's two different versions. One is green, and that is the less intense version.
Yes, that's the less intense version. It circles around the Earth, and you don't do any sort of space jump per se, which is where you get the extra G-forces.
There's no G-forces on that one. And then the orange one goes up to, I believe, 5 Gs, and that one you actually go to Mars.
Yep.
The other thing about this ride is that it can be very claustrophobic because you're in kind of a small space capsule simulation type thing. We are not going to go on it because this consistently makes me nauseous.
Yep. Even the green?
Even the green. I don't love it. I think just because of the close-in atmosphere and like setup of the ride, it's not my favorite. But if you ever wanted to know what it felt like to go to space, it's definitely worth going on, and it usually has a pretty short wait.
Because it makes so many people ill.
This pavilion is also home to a fairly new restaurant for here at Epcot, and that is Space 220. It doesn't open yet today. It's too early, but basically Space 220 is a really unique dining experience where you take a space elevator up to a space station where you can dine, have great cocktails, and enjoy the views of our planet from space. We don't have reservations today, so we won't get up there, but if you have a chance to dine here and you really love going to space and the idea of space, it is definitely a worthwhile experience. You can get reservations for both a sit-down meal at the restaurant. It is a fixed price, multiple course menu, or you can choose to wait in a line to sit at their bar. And there's also a lounge where you can order a la carte. So the lounge, you're not restricted to the preset menu. In the regular sit down, you are restricted to the preset menu. And at the bar, you are not restricted to the preset menu, and you can just order drinks or whatever you want. The bar is first come, first serve, so usually people line up over here. It's interesting because usually they'll let you line up even before the restaurant's open, but
not today.
Not today. So you line up over here and talk to the people around the corner to see if there is space at the bar.
It's worth a note that the bar actually, if you sit at the bar, the bartender actually makes your drinks. But like so many other restaurants at Disney, if you sit at a table or at a lounge, there's a separate bar space backstage that might make your drinks for you instead.
Yeah, exactly. So if you want to have that camaraderie with the bartender or like a special off-menu drink, it's best to sit at the bar.
At the bar.
But Mission Space, the pavilion, actually has a bit of a hidden gem inside it. If you go in through the exit into the gift shop, this is where you can find all their Star Wars merch for this park.
Helmets.
Some like NASA stuff. But it's also home to a fairly hidden playground for children, which is really useful if you have kids that just need to like blow off some steam. And you don't have to go on the ride to go to it. Over here we have a simulation of mission control for the kiddos.
Pint-sized mission to space.
Yes. There's like a video gaming area, but then, yeah, over here, space playground. So that's a really great hidden thing, I think, for families looking for a place for their kids to kind of blow off some steam and have a little indoor fun while they're here at Epcot.
Science.
Yeah, fun with science. Get some air conditioning, sit down, let your kids run around and play. Yeah, it's good times. And a lot of people miss out on it because they don't realize it's here. and the ride again is not the most popular, so not everyone goes on the ride.
That's fun. What do we got here?
Look like the rocket scientist.
Yep. I want one that says rocket surgeon.
That's cool. But like the little bomber jackets are so cute. And the adult ones.
Definitely. Should I be an astronaut?
Oh my god, yes.
Let's see. I don't even know if this is possible.
We'll see if it fits your head.
Here, hold that.
Yeah.
My name is Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan.
You will take your mom to the dance.
This is super uncomfortable.
It looks amazing on you.
There we go.
All day. We're gonna do some dare videos someday where you have to walk around all day.
I just have to walk around all day wearing this.
Yes.
If our people want to see that, if our fans want to see that, just let us know and send us an undisclosed amount of money. Oh yeah, $30 for this fine piece of headwear.
I love it.
It might be worth it.
Yeah,
it doesn't seem
funny.
that bad.
No, it's pretty funny.
I'll take my hat.
If you continue walking past Mission Space, the next pavilion you get to is Test Track.
See?
Now again, this is mainly a ride. It's gone through a few iterations and it is currently closed for its third version, Test Track version 3.
3.0.
Yes. So this will open in the summer of 2025. They have not given an exact date, but the goal is this summer. And it is, essentially it started as like a crash test dummy type experience. It then moved on to like a design a car, like do you want speed or mobility or like reliability?
Economy.
Yeah, that kind of thing. And the new version is supposed to harken back to kind of more original Epcot ideas of like energy use, I think. I'm not 100% sure, so I guess we'll find out when we get to it. But it is closed for the moment and it is sponsored by GM. And it's one of the longest sponsorships I think that Epcot's had in recent years. So they're paying, sponsoring it for another renovation, and you can come here and look at some GM cars while it's closed.
Do you want the experience of driving a General Motors product up to 60 miles an hour, but can't wait for coming soon? Well, have I got a treat for you. Take a ride with me and see what it's like to be on Test Track, Chris Edition.
Action.
Would you like to know what it's like to increase in speed up to 65 miles an hour on Test Track in a GM propulsed vehicle? Well, look at this. Oh, there we are. Oh, we're exceeding the speed limit of Test Track. We are speeding, people. We're speeding in a GM product. Is that even allowed?
Yay, Test Track.
Yay, Test Track. Wasn't that a thrilling ride? Aren't you glad you came with me? I love driving at up to 60 exhilarating miles per hour.
Okay, and that's pretty much it for World Discovery. For right now, there isn't too much going on. It's just gonna, it's basically 3 rides with a restaurant and that playground. And then, of course, one of the rides isn't open yet. But now we're heading back into what's called World Celebration. This is going to be your central hub of this section of the park. There's Connections Eatery, which is a good sit-down quick service restaurant, with like burgers and like kind of traditional theme park fare. But there's also some more unique items offered every so often. It's also home to the main store here called Creations Shop and the Coca-Cola Club Cool, where you can come and taste sodas from all over the world. If you take a right at Spaceship Earth and enter Epcot, you will head into World Nature. This is home to many pavilions, one of which being the Living Seas, or the Seas with Nemo and Friends. It's also home to a restaurant called Coral Reef, where you dine with views of the aquarium inside this beautiful pavilion. You can either enter through taking the Seas with Nemo and Friends, or on a side entrance through the gift shop. But let's go ride the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Let's go see Nemo. exit the Nemo ride, you enter into the Seas Pavilion. It's home to a bunch of different animals. The manatees are actually closed right now. They might be open later, but there's a fun interactive area with sharks, there's eels, there's all sorts of fishies. It's a really fun place to go and explore, learn a bit, pose for fun photos. Here, it's telling you all about how sharks, they really don't want to bite you.
Fish are friends, not food.
Exactly. Oh, I love this. So look at all the sharkies. You learn so much about all the different species of sharks. I love the hammerheads. Those are cool. And they have hammerheads in the aquarium section here. Look at the fun photo ops you can do. They also have a fantastic scavenger hunt based on finding Dory. It basically is a fun little scavenger hunt to give the kids so they can run around and try to find everything in here. Oof, home to eels. You can learn all about coral. It's a really beautiful area, and of course they have clownfish. So if you want to learn about Nemo, they got Nemo. There he is. I found him. Oh, it's so pretty. I love the lighting in here. It really shows off like the underwater beauty. Now, Disney World in general is AZA, American Zoological Association certified. So this is AZA certified aquarium, which means that things change. They've removed the dolphins and the manatees for different reasons. I know the manatees, I think, are getting moved to a different zoo, probably for breeding purposes, or just like they've outgrown their space here. But then I've heard that they will get new manatees down the line, but it just kind of ebbs and flows again based on the animal's needs. Same thing with this massive aquarium here. Sometimes you can go scuba diving in here, and then sometimes they cut it off for a while, probably to, not disrupt the animals inside.
Fish.
But it's absolutely beautiful. And definitely worth coming in here and coming upstairs and just taking time to enjoy the views. So now it's time for a moment of fun facts with Liz, mainly about Liz. And that is that I was born with a weird fear of fish. Like, going in this aquarium would be kind of a nightmare for me. I have been working on it. I have been snorkeling many times now, easing myself into it. But wow, these fish are big and it would be quite scary for me. But at the same time, I weirdly love sharks. So I really want to get scuba certified so I can come in here and scuba with the sharks.
And the giant fish.
But the giant fish are terrifying. So yeah, I don't know. It would definitely be a Liz conquers a fear kind of experience. But
so if
one
you want to see that video, let us know in the comments.
Right. But one I really, really want to do someday. Oh, and they even have turtles in here. Where is it? There it is. Wow. So it's beautiful. I just need to continue to get over my fear of fish. I'm okay in aquariums. Oh goodness, that's close. But I just can't touch them or, yeah. I'm okay with little fish now when I go snorkeling, but like lake fish are terrifying. So yeah, being in there with these giant fish would definitely be scary, but probably worthwhile experience for me. Oh, I love the Living Seas. It's such a great pavilion. It's a great way to get out of the heat on a hot day, the rain on a rainy day, you know, anytime you want to be inside. And it's just so educational and beautiful with all the fishies, and Turtle Talk with Crush is so cute. You can really spend like a good amount of time in there and have a fab time. But right outside the seas, you kind of pass it on your way in, is the Moana Journey of Water, which is a fairly new attraction here at Epcot. It's like a walkthrough experience, learning about the cycle of water, but in a really fun, interactive way. Let's go check it out. So like I said, this is all about the water cycle, and so it's an educational and fun edutainment experience, and you can also meet Moana over here. And now it's fun to get wet in here, but you don't have to.
I'm all hot and steamy. Actually, it's very, very chilly. Woo. I make music with water. There's a very big note as you walk into this section that says, "Do not drink this water. It is recycled and not potable." But it's beautiful sounding.
And luckily, if this journey of water reaches you and touches your soul,
Makes you want to go deeper into the journey of water.
further deeper into the journey of water, there is a restroom.
This ain't exactly the Mississippi. I'm on East Bank, I'm on the West Bank. Is planned, but rise water. Oh no, my water stream isn't exactly working the way it's supposed to. I suppose that is a sign of age. Come on, water stream, you can do it. You can do it. Ah, there we go. Ah, now I'm wet. That's what I get for playing with my stream. We'll go. Hold on, let's try that again. Here, you should come through too.
Yeah.
No, you can't. Haha.
Look at that, you don't get wet.
That's a much more calm section of water here, as opposed to that over there, which looks very, very wet. Like this. Guaranteed to get you wet. Oh, it's so steamy in here. Breathe in the sky. It's like Snoop Dogg's tour bus. Whew.
Well, I think Chris really enjoyed his journey of water with Moana. Yeah, and you leave that, you're back over by Living Seas, or the seas, makes sense. Water, water. But then if you continue the circle from the seas, the next pavilion you come upon is the land. So going from water to the land. So, like I was saying before, inside here is a great ride called Soarin'. You're basically flying over different countries of the world. So I, of course, love that ride. And I've also been to every country featured on that ride, which I love. And then there's also Living with the Land, which is so educational about alternative ways to grow produce. A lot of that produce is used then in Disney restaurants here in Epcot. And there's also a great behind the scenes tour called Behind the Seeds that takes you into Living with the Land, and you get to learn even more. So if you're interested in gardening or just like taking a behind the scenes tour, it's one of the best, and it's one of the least expensive too. Of course, who can forget Awesome Planet, the amazing video I was talking about before. Please catch the sarcasm in my voice. But it's a beautiful pavilion. It's also home to a great quick service restaurant, so if you need a break, need some good food, and a fantastic character dining opportunity at the Garden Grill. This is with like the classic characters, Mickey Mouse, Pluto, Chip and Dale. Good, just like traditional kind of Thanksgiving style food, but the restaurant itself rotates very slowly, and so you get to see different scenes that you actually see during Live at the Land while you're dining, so that's really fun. And then the beautiful hot air balloons in here are designed to represent the different seasons and, of course, the Earth in the center. So summer, fall, winter, spring, and the Earth in the middle, all being lit by the sun, represented by the curtains around it. So it's really quite lovely. It's a busy day today, so I don't know how much we'll get on, but you definitely got to come in here, take a break, maybe get some food, enjoy Living at the Land. It's a slow-moving boat ride. Perhaps dine with some characters, fly over the world, and learn about the different landscapes on our planet. Here you have the Journey into Imagination starring the famous Figment, Magic Eye Theater with Pixar shorts, and a bit of a playground. There's also character meet and greets in here if you are a Disney Chase member. So the ride here with Figment is not my favorite anymore. But as a child in the 80s and 90s, this was a lovely, whimsical ride that really featured imagination and took you into all sorts of imagination, like horror, reading, magic, science, all these amazing things.
Illusion.
Yep, and then of course this was Captain EO over here in the Magic Eye Theater, which I missed too. But like the other pavilions, you don't have to go on the ride to go inside the pavilion, and you can meet Figment in person, which is amazing and so much fun. So yeah, Figment was created when Epcot was created, originally with a partner called the Dreamfinder, who was kind of like a steampunk guy, and such a cool character that they got rid of, which is such a bummer. But we all keep hoping, us old school Disney adults keep hoping he might come back. Let's go check out what is in the What If Labs.
Yeah, Dreamfinder got replaced by Eric Idle.
Yes. And Eric Idle doesn't even remember filming it, apparently.
I know, it's great.
If you happen to be a Disney Vacation Club member, this pavilion is also home to a lounge just for DVC members, but which we are not, so we've never been up there. As a kid, again, when this pavilion was way more magical, the upstairs was more playground for you to run around in, and home to a very famous rainbow neon archway that you could walk through, and it's just beautiful, and gosh, I wish they'd bring that back. But anyway, they still have some interactive things here in this pavilion and areas for kids to play and use their imagination. Oh, it looks like Figment's not out right now, but this is his meet and greet over here. There we go, over here. He comes out of the Dreamport. And the animations used over here are actually from that original ride. So that's kind of a cool callback. Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to spend so much time in here because they had so many great interactive things to do and to play with. Like I said, it's really scaled down now, but it's still cute and colorful and worth checking out.
I'm going to make a melody. Except for it's not playing. There's no sound.
Oh no, is it not working?
Let me try over here. No.
That's
It's just very, very quiet. You can kind of hear it in the background, but it's really hard to hear.
Oh well.
Let's see if this one's working.
This is a fun, like, Simon game where you have to remember the pattern. And, yeah, and repeat it. Oh, here we go. Chris found one that works.
I'm making music with my hands.
Cute.
I mean, that's either your hands or your mouth, right? That's how a person makes music. It's just a little different than they were telling me it was going to work in music class. That's all. Let's try this instrument over here. This is more my style. It's a little deeper, a little lower.
And over here, the different pads make different sounds so kids can run around and make fun noises.
Who doesn't like running around making fun noises?
Who doesn't? Something fun that they have here that has been here since I was a child is like this jumping water here right outside the Imagination Pavilion. I used to love playing with this so much with my family. This is also where you could meet Figment and Dreamfinder. So let's insert a photo of me with them because that was some of my favorite memories here. It was so cool. I think I was like 10 or 12 in these pictures.
I'm waiting for it to jump.
But it's just whimsy and
Is it gonna jump?
and things that I used to love about this pavilion
Come on,
that
water.
are still
Jump
here in
this
some
way.
capacities, but definitely not how it used to be.
The water doesn't want to jump.
And over here past the dancing water is where we have the Disney Visa photo spot. So you have to show your Disney Visa card, and they've limited hours, but there's like a surprise character meet and greet in here. Okay, and that's pretty much a wrap on World Discovery, World Nature, and World Celebration, the more like science-y side of the park. And now we are going to move on to the World Showcase, which for us is actually going to be a different day.
Yep.
But for you, it'll be, I don't know, right now. Enjoy.
Oops, sorry, I did that early.
That's okay. Okay, and we're back. It's later for us.
Yep.
A moment later for you. All right, here in the International Gateway, it's the gateway to the World Showcase, as they say. And there's a big debate about which way to go. So when you're walking this way, do you go right or do you go left to Mexico? People have very varied, very determined opinions on this. I don't know. I kind of like going towards Canada because I enjoy the beers there and the selections at the UK pavilion. But other people love heading to Mexico, getting a margarita first. You know, it doesn't matter. But today we are going to go this way. We're going to head towards Canada first. So come along. Welcome to Canada. This pavilion, I think, is vastly overlooked by a lot of people. We've done a more in-depth video of it, so feel free to check that out. But here, come follow me inside. This pavilion is currently under a little bit of construction, so we can't show you everything, but it's home to like a Circle Vision show called Canada Far and Wide, hosted by Catherine O'Hara and Eugene Levy. And it represents a lot of the different regions of Canada. There's this beautiful waterfall, French Canada, French Canada. There's stores you can visit where you can buy Canadian goods, some Canadian beers. Our favorite thing here is La Fin du Monde, which is on tap at the place just outside with the maple popcorn. But in general, the Canada Pavilion is a beautiful place to walk around. Usually there's not too many people. Go see a great show talking about the different areas of Canada, hosted by some famous people, grab a beer, and just kind of chill. So that's welcome to Canada. Okay, we've made it to the UK. England, that is the next country in our World Showcase crawl here. There's no attraction or ride here in the UK, but there's quite a lot of adorable shops. There's a labyrinth and some musical performances. There's also what I would say is the best bar here in the World Showcase. That might be debatable, but it's my favorite. And that is the Rose and Crown. Over there you can get your traditional British items like a half and half or like Strongbow Guinness, like any of those combo pubs things that you want to do. They also have one of my favorite drinks in the World Showcase, which is a Strongbow and Fireball. That's Strongbow cider, Fireball whiskey, Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey, and some ginger beer. So that's one of my favorites. It's a great hangout spot. And but also here, usually this back area here is a bit quiet. There's a band performing soon, so it's a little bit louder. But it's just a nice, chill pavilion. Usually if you come back here, there's less people. And one of my favorite Easter eggs here in the pavilion is to go into this coat of arms shop, and they change the coat of arms signs. I think monthly, bi-weekly, something like that, right?
Yeah, first of the month.
First of the month, and I love it. So last month was Bridgerton, and I've seen like Taylor Swift stuff here. I've seen, I'm trying to remember who else. But anyway, it's a great little thing to come check out. I think that's it. We've done another overview. We've done a more in-depth one of this pavilion. So if you want to learn more, you can check that one out. But it's just a good place to come and do a little shopping, get some Monty Python merchandise if you're interested, Winnie the Pooh. Oh, you can meet Winnie the Pooh here as well. So there's Winnie the Pooh meet and greet. Let's see, what else is there? I think that's it. So that's the UK.
Keep going.
And now we are crossing the English Channel. I don't know why people make such a big deal out of it, because I mean, it's just a bridge. I don't know why we need like a train or whatever.
Or like people who swim across it.
Yeah, people swim across it. Like, it's not that big.
Yeah, like it's a normal sized bridge.
Yeah, it's a normal sized bridge. Anyway, we're walking from the UK to France here in Epcot, not in the real country where the English Channel is a large body of water. Yeah, so onward. We're continuing around the World Showcase. There's 11 different countries. We've done 2 of them so far. Here we are along the Seine, or Disney's version of it, where in the France Pavilion. It's a little busy today, so we're not totally into it. But here it's home to a great restaurant called Les Chefs de France. This is a good normal French bistro type place. There's also Monsieur Paul if you're looking for a high-end dinner. Chris and I have celebrated our anniversary there with a multiple course dinner. It was amazing. There's also Les Halles, which is a fantastic quick service location if you're looking for a ham and cheese sandwich or soup. Amazing French quality. There's also a Beauty and the Beast sing-along and an Impressions de France video. And recently it's home to Ratatouille, which is a newish ride here at Epcot. So that's kind of what the French Pavilion has to offer. Oh, there's also a quick service ice cream location. Yeah, but it's always pretty busy. It's a pretty popular spot. It's a beautiful area. I love just getting a baguette and some cheese and just kind of chilling and watching the world go by when I'm here. It's also famous for its Grand Marnier slushies, and there's a champagne bar. So overall, it's a great location. There's a lot to do. It's very French. Okay, welcome to Morocco. Morocco is after France. This is the next pavilion in our walk around the world. I love this pavilion, but it has some issues. So this Restaurant Marrakesh, has been closed since the pandemic. It was open for a little while as a lounge for pass holders, but it has not yet reopened. But here in the Morocco Pavilion, you can meet Jasmine, who just walked by actually, not on camera. There's also a sangria bar and some goods and services you can purchase that are of Moroccan heritage. There's a great belly dancing show out front. There's baklava that you can buy. I will say this pavilion used to have a bit more character because it used to feel more like a bazaar and like a souk than it does now. Again, this is all pre-pandemic. Just because this pavilion used to be run actually by a Moroccan company, and it was built by the Moroccan government. So that's why it used to never be lit up at evening shows and things like that. And it was designed really to look like Marrakesh. I mean, I've been to Morocco, and this feels like Morocco, and I love that. And I miss the old souk, like places you could buy stuff from Morocco, things like that. Now it's kind of just, like I said, it's a sangria bar. It has a bit of the feel of it. I love on the water, there's a great restaurant where you can get some good vegetarian tapas type things. A good gin tea with gin or without, depending on what you're into. There's a stand where you can buy some actually really good priced baklava and things like that. So I still love this pavilion. There's no attraction here. It's really just about kind of coming in and feeling really immersed. To me, it's one of the most immersive pavilions in the World Showcase because you just kind of feel like you're there. Like I said, pre-2020, I think it had a more of a Moroccan feel to it, but I still love this pavilion so much. It's definitely worth your time to come in, check it out, explore it a little bit, admire the tangine pots, the poufs, the little crevices. Oh, there's a museum about some races that they do in Morocco every year across the desert. There's a recreation of a traditional riad, which is a traditional home in Morocco. So there's a lot to see here, some great inlay work, some great mosaic work. It's just a great recreation of what I've seen myself in Morocco. In fact, I mean, some of these, in fact, I will admit, for my work, when I presented some images about Morocco, I may have used some photographs from this area because it was built by the Moroccan government. It was built by the Moroccan king. So, I mean, it is Moroccan. I just absolutely love it. So definitely come, take some time, check it out. To the Japanese pavilion, which is honestly one of my absolute favorites. This place is so beautiful. There's a Mitsukoshi store, so you can buy a bunch of Japanese goods, including really fun, unique candies and things that you could take home like that. There's a great recreation of the castle in Osaka that I've been to, which is just beautiful. There's the Katsura Grill, which is a good place to get some quick service food. There's these beautiful gardens that you can just meander through. I just love it. And in the back, there's a really fun exhibit about all things kawaii, which is cute in Japan. Yes, Chris, go make a salary like Salary Man. Okay, the next country is America. Here you have the American Gardens Theater, where there's various shows that happen throughout the year, depending on what time of year that you're here. We also have the Liberty Theater over here. It has some beautiful singers that sing American classics. There's also a show with some great animatronics showcasing the history of America. We have a barbecue restaurant. I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Other than the American Adventure attraction, which is quite good, a little bit at the end that needs to be edited, but it's overall a really good show. The animatronics in it are unreal. So that's definitely worth seeing. The barbecue restaurant is actually pretty decent. The shows here at the pavilion can be quite good. During a lot of the year, it's a concert. Sometimes it's Broadway performers. Sometimes it's animation activities. Yeah, just throughout the year, it's worth seeing. And people apparently really like the moonshine here. It's not a drink that I prefer, but it's the #1 selling drink in Epcot, which makes me question a lot of people's tastes. But if you like the taste of medicine, then it's for you. So anyway, welcome to America. Bienvenido. We've made it to Italy. It is the next pavilion in our walkway around the world. Oh, it's just charming. It has recreations of iconic elements from Tuscany, Florence, Venice, Rome. It has one of my favorite restaurants on property, Via Napoli. One of my least favorite restaurants on property, Tutto Italia, as well as a good wine bar. There's no ride attraction here or anything. but it's just a beautiful pavilion. It has a wonderful mock-up of the Trevi Fountain, along with some good shops, some wine. It's very Italian. What can I say? Like, come here, get some gelato, relax, enjoy the views, pretend you're in Venice, throw a coin over your shoulder, pretend like you're coming back to Rome, and yeah, just come, relax, and enjoy la via bella, la via, the beautiful life. Sorry, I don't speak Italian. Forgive me. Willkommen, bienvenue. Welcome. We're in Germany. It's the next pavilion after Italy. Here again, there's no ride. There actually was supposed to be a Rhine River ride, but it never happened. But it's a great place for some German shopping, some schnapps, some beer, sausages. It's pretty much what it is. It's eating, drinking, shopping, but in all of our favorite ways. Case meat, beers, shots, schnapps. There's a great year-round Christmas store. There's also a really great buffet restaurant called Oktoberfest, where they celebrate Oktoberfest year-round. So that's actually a really fun place to come. You got to come with an appetite, though, because they have a lot of schnitzel, a lot of potato salad, a lot of good German things. If you're not super sweet in drinking, the Weinkeller has a lot of good schnapps and things like that. And then, of course, just the store. Pick yourself up a Stein. It's only about, this one's only $80. It's not too terrible. Lots of good merchandise. Come celebrate your German heritage here in the German Pavilion. Prost.
Well, Liz is away from me right now, and whenever she gets away from me, it means I get into a line that has beer and bratwursts. So here in Germany, towards the back of the pavilion, there's the Sommerfest restaurant, and there's also a Sommerfest walk-up window that serves this beautiful bratwurst with sauerkraut and then chips with some seasoning on it. And then they have a choice of 3 beers. They have the Dunkel that I got. They've got a Beck's Pilsner, and then they have a Schafferhofer. I obviously went with the Dunkel, and I'm very, very happy with that choice. So, Prost, and I shall enjoy this.
We're in China. It's the next pavilion after Germany. This place is so cute and tranquil. Like, you can come here into these gardens and really be by yourself most of the time. There's a 360-degree view video about the history of China. It's a little outdated, but it's still cute to see. My favorite thing about China, though, is if you go back into the store, they have chips, like Lay's potato chips from China. So you can get like weird Szechuan hot pot style potato chips. So that's a really cool thing that you can do here. That's a little bit different. The quick service here, honestly, it's worse than Panda Express. Don't do it. The sit-down restaurant here, I haven't been to in 20 years. So we need to do a review of that, but I don't think it's Americanized Chinese food for an additional cost over what you would get from your local place. So, but other than that, this pavilion is so beautiful, so underrated. And you can really just come and chill by these gardens, and it's just beautiful, quiet, and zen. So that's China.
Norway. You think you know Norway, but you don't know Norway.
We've made it to the second to last pavilion. Now we are in Norway. This is home to Frozen Ever After, one of the most popular rides here at Disney World. It's also home to a quick service restaurant called, that's home to School Bread. It's fantastic. There's also Akershus Royal Banquet Hall, where you can come and have a great dinner and meet a bunch of Disney princesses. So that's a beautiful experience that you can have. It's also home to Anna and Elsa, so there's a great meet and greet here. You can buy some Norwegian goods. You can buy Norwegian perfumes. It's a great representation of Norway. Now, one of my favorite facts, though, about Norway here is that the bathrooms originally were sponsored by the country of Denmark. So the bathrooms here technically look like Denmark, which I find hilarious because I am Danish. And so when you need to go to the bathroom here in Norway, where do you go? You go to Denmark, which I feel like is a common feeling among the Scandinavians for how to treat Denmark. I still find it amusing. I should probably find it insulting. But yeah, so the bathrooms here are themed after Denmark. But it's a great place. There used to be more representation, more lingonberries, more Norwegian things, not as much anymore, but it's good Viking heritage. And I love it here. I love the perfume here. I love the ride here. I love the vibes. So I wish that they would do, I wish that they would do a Norwegian like booth during the festivals, but they don't. Anyway, Norway. It's better than Snorway. Hola to Mexico. We made it to the last pavilion. Here we're inside an ancient Mayan temple where you can go shopping. There's drinks. There's a restaurant. You can go on the Three Caballeros ride, which is down until March 15th, but if you're watching this after that, it'll be open. It's a great pavilion. I love sitting here by the water at the San Angel Inn and having dinner. La Cava del Tequila is iconic for people that enjoy tequila. Possibly the best part of the Mexico Pavilion is the Cava del Tequila. Here you can get a wide range of great margaritas. You can also sit down and get chips and salsa with some guac, salsa, cheese dip, all those great things. So this is an iconic spot here in the Mexico Pavilion. There's also a quick service area outside. There's a couple quick service areas outside. And it's just a really great place to either start or end your evening here at Epcot, but it's always nighttime here. And I love that. So anyway, here's Mexico. Okay, and that's been our Around Epcot general overview. I hope you enjoyed. Chris, any final thoughts?
I love Epcot. I will come here basically whenever I decide that it's a good night to just enjoy the world around us.
Yeah, so. Highly recommend staying for the fireworks as well. We're leaving a little bit early, but it's a good thing to do. We need to get back home because once the fireworks go off, getting to the parking area is a little difficult. So. Yeah, truth. But Epcot, it's a great park. We love it. So anyway, yeah, I hope you liked this overview. If you did, please like and subscribe. Otherwise, I've been Liz. And I've been Chris. And we've been Adulting in Theme Park Land. So thanks for joining us on this great overview around Epcot. Thanks. Good night, folks. See you later. Bye. Bye.